Yo, what's up guys? How is everyone doing? Guys, today we are going to be looking at Bitcoin, and its recent price movements have been really interesting. So, guys, I'm not sure how many of you have tuned in to the last stream. Let me actually take these indicators off because it is a little bit confusing. Michael, Jacob, great to see you guys here. So yesterday, guys, I think you'll remember if you were watching. If you haven't, of course, you can watch the replay. What I said is that what we're looking at here is a continuation of this rising wedge where, within a downtrend, we're going to have situations where we dump, we rise a little bit, we dump again, rise a little bit. And really what I thought we're seeing here is a continuation of the same thing. And to be honest with you guys, I still do think that is the case. Now, guys, as you are getting in, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help out. Colton, the bow tie, what's up? Great to see you here, of course. So I did say that, we're kind of looking at a rising wedge, but we've had a bit of a development recently. It's really interesting. It's something that we can't ignore. And let's actually go back to the 1 hour chart here. And guys, what we're seeing here is over these past 24 hours, we've had a big pump to test this 6,800 line again. Now, really, this looks quite characteristic of one of those bot patterns you see everyone talking about, where we're going to be testing a high, we're going to wick up and then get rejected. So that's what happened where the bears took control. And the same thing happened today as well when we tested the 68 line. We breached it. Today's high was actually maybe about $30 above 6,800. So that's actually quite significant. But of course, the bears did take back control. And I'm going to go into that into a little bit more depth, just a few minutes later in the future. Whatever, I can't speak now. So, what it looks like to me is it's really testing these liquidity areas. And, with all of these rejections downwards, it could either be a bearish or a bullish sign. I mean, today, guys, let's look at the alt market real quick. There's more green than there was yesterday, but, really, it's still, wow, yeah, 12% on Buybox token. So that's an exchange token doing pretty well today. Overall, it's been a much better day than previously, but everything is still about in the same area. Now, volume is good. As for volume today, we're looking at a $13 billion volume, and that's pretty good, compared to last week's lows where we were, where we were even seeing $9 billion volume. That is a good sign, especially on a day where, the market cap has been rising. A lot of these coins have been steadily, 3% on Ethereum, 1% on Ripple. These are very small gains, but compared to what we've been seeing recently, it's not too bad. So that is a good sign. Now, guys, I mentioned that this could be a bearish or a bullish sign. And the reason I've said that here is, we're seeing these high prices being tested, and it shows that the bulls have some strength to send Bitcoin up like this. But, on the other side of that, it's getting rejected very quickly. We're on the 1 hour candles here, and you can see immediately when we test the 68 line, the bears are defending it. They're not letting it go higher. They let it slip a little bit, going up to 68.30. But apart from that, we're right back down to the 6,700 levels. And there's a lot of uncertainty. So VIP members got it straight away. When I saw this, I woke up. I checked out the market. Obviously, I'm getting alerts all through the night and being super unhealthy like that. And I thought, there's too much uncertainty right now. As a trader, like I mentioned in the last stream, what I do is I minimize my risk to lose money because it's much harder to regain your losses than, to actually make profits in the first place. It's very hard to make back what you've lost. And so I always try to limit that. And I thought, guys, I'm going to be closing my short today. And that's exactly what I did. So we did see prices rising and testing these high 6,700s. From a bearish perspective, from a shorter perspective, someone who's shorting the market, it's not a good thing. And so I did say, I'm going to have to take a step back. If we pumped above 6,800, like I said in the last stream, that would have triggered my stop loss. So not favorable market conditions. Now back to why this could be a bullish or a bearish sign. So we've got the bears quickly rejecting this price. And so they really are defending this 6,800 line. But what we could be seeing is, we've got one test, a second test, maybe we're going to get a third test now. And on this test, with the volume going up $13.1 billion now, up $4 billion from last week's lows, what we could see is on a third test, it's going to shoot right get through with volume. We might see volume go up to about 17 billion. And that would send us above 68. From there, it's an easy ride up to 72. And then, 74, I mean, just a completely arbitrary line. I mean, it's something that we could be seeing, my laptop's frozen now. That's kind of annoying. Okay, there we go. So, we could be seeing, after 68, it's going to be very easy to go past 7,000, potentially 7,200. And then the next sort of big resistance is, again, 7,800, 7,700. And really, guys, if we do pass that, that's where it's looking very bullish. And that's why I've titled this video, this live stream, Have the Bitcoin Bulls Return? Because what we're looking at right now is bulls showing their strength once again. Obviously, I didn't expect markets to stay as bleak as they were just a few days ago, or even yesterday. It just doesn't keep up that way. Such low volume, it doesn't stay that way. If it does go down to 9 billion and we end up flatlining around $9 billion volume, that's going to be something that happens over a long period of time. It's not going to be, instant, just with the click of a finger, and then suddenly our volume is cut in half. Not going to happen. And so we are going to be seeing these highs and lows, but the overall trend is that the volume is decreasing. We're setting lower highs and lower lows. And of course, the market cap with that, whether it rises or goes down, we know that it's not the true sort of price for these coins. So let's go over to these questions now. Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to, guys. By the way, if you're not already in the Telegram channel, that's where I'm posting these alerts I'm talking about. So the link is down below. And of course, if you're not subscribed, do make sure you do that and tick the bell so you don't miss out on these uploads. But let me go over to this chat now. Enough shilling my stuff. I think we found the bottom and support at it. Yeah, Colton, you know what? Recently, I've been feeling a little bit like that as well. Not too much. I'm still quite reserved, but I still think that a test of the $6,000 area, maybe 58, 5,900 area is in play. I think it's still possible, but in terms of, this bottom for the entire trend, maybe the triple bottom, I think it's possible. Of course, what I would have liked to see is volume, because volume means agreement in, Bitcoin reaching a triple bottom. Really, let's be honest, I mean, that volume hasn't shown, but the price action is potentially telling us that story anyway. But of course, in a situation like this, I do genuinely believe that volume is more important than price action, because if the price is rising with no one to back that, it's just going to be very easy for bulls to push it down when they want it to. And of course, what we could have seen, today and yesterday testing these highs is just liquidations, trying to liquidate shorts and longs. That's what these bots try to do. Hey Sammy, would you ever do a video on drawing on graphs and how you analyze graphs? I can never understand them. So if you mean sort of basic TA lessons, yeah, I've been really considering it. I would like to do that. So you saw me do the Ichimoku video quite recently, and that's a sort of TA video. It's quite in-depth. It's, like I said in that video, it's the hardest indicator I've ever used. But so it's a kind of a weird one to start with, but for these actual graphs, yeah, I'd love to do that. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. If you can maybe drop another comment what specifically you want me to cover, I'm going to write that down right now and then get to making a video like that. Okay, so you're saying it could go higher or lower. Yeah, no, Hydro, no, that is what I'm saying. So there are days where I'm going to take a neutral stance, there are days where I'm going to take a bearish stance, and days where I'll take a bullish stance. And that's all just part of staying realistic. And, like I said yesterday, this was in Telegram. I didn't stream about it before the pump happened, but I said maybe we're going to see a pump. This is something where you have to stay neutral, because that pump, nobody could have called it. There was no reason for a pump at that time. There was no news for it, but someone just decided to market buy. And we need to constantly be aware of those things, because guys, if we were still in a short before that pump happened, we would have been liquidated. So yes, it is unfortunately, yeah, it is better to be ambiguous like this, saying that it could go higher or it could go lower. I'm giving you guys my reasons, and if you feel more polarized than I do, perfect, that's you, and you can say we're going bull or bear. But me personally, I'm neutral, and that's why I'm not losing money. Did I see that the last 3 pumps are at 6 p.m. every day? So if that's okay, well, let's check that out. I mean, I'm on the UTC chart. I hope that is what you're talking about. So yeah, no, I'm seeing that. Yeah, so actually no, that's not 6 p.m. No, I'm not seeing that pattern actually. No, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing there. Ilium Crypto, hello my friend. How is it going? Don't you think it's possible that we are in a double zigzag? I've never heard of a double zigzag from 20k or near future. I hope no, but still a possibility. No, I mean I've never heard of zigzag. That's a completely new term to me. If you're talking about the end of a trend, though, yeah, I mean, I certainly think it's possible. I just want to see the volume. You guys are getting annoyed by me saying this now, but really, I just want to. I'm not interested in this price action right now if we can't see volume backing it. Whether that means we go up or down, I want to see agreement in this. Actually, so one thing I've just noticed while looking at this chart here is we've got a hidden bullish divergence. So that's when the RSI goes down and price goes up. So that's, what have I done? Yeah, so that's a good sign. Showing further upward movement is possible because, guys, if you were looking at the RSI like I always like to study, it did get quite high. Even on the 4-hour chart, it's still quite high at the moment. So not really a good sign to open positions, but if the RSI is going to be going down in this kind of a market while we're up, that is a good sign. I think I just saw a good one. Let me scroll up here. Do you see Bitcoin mining having any effect on the price, Aaron? Yeah, thanks, Aaron, for that question. That's a really good one. More questions like that, guys, if you can. Look, this is a good point. So we've got this argument that when we drop below about 6,000, that's when most countries already can't mine in a profit, but that's where most of them do get shut off completely. And so we're only left with a few kind of dodgy countries like Venezuela where you don't know if you're mining Bitcoin, if it's going to be reliable or whatever, just because the corruption going on in that country, unfortunately. Look, I think that even if Bitcoin goes below the price to mine it, which means it becomes... you lose money when you mine Bitcoin, I think people are still going to do it. I don't see that as a valid argument for why Bitcoin will be prevented from going down. I just don't think that's possible because people are happy to mine at a loss. You look at coins like bcash, where they've been doing so for a very long time. XVG, literally every coin, actually. People are happy to mine at a loss because they believe in its future potential to go upwards. So I don't think Bitcoin mining is going to affect the price at all, really. I mean, it might do like a 1-hour pump or something, whatever. But I don't see that being anything to take note of. We're setting higher highs and higher lows right now. Yes, we are. I mean, right now, yeah. I mean, temporarily, of course, and within this rising wedge, definitely. But, I mean, you've got to bear in mind, this is just a typical characteristic of a rising wedge. So, we are going to be setting higher highs and higher lows. It gives hope to the market. So, I mean, this happens every single time we're in a pattern like this. You guys remember the hope we had over here going from, 7,000 up to a high of 77. I mean, really, this was all hope as well. This was a rising wedge setting higher highs and higher lows, and what came of it? This is just a typical pattern, and it's the reason these patterns repeat themselves, guys. I think, we tend to forget when we look at a long-term chart, which we haven't seen before. So let's pretend that you've never seen this rise, this fall from, 11.6 to a bottom of 6,400. Let's pretend you've never seen this before, and you just brush over this. You're like, okay, we went down, rising wedge, down, rising wedge, down. Okay, perfect. But you have to bear in mind, I mean, when we were going up, people thought, this is it, all right? This is the bounce. We're going back up to 11.6. And the same thing happened when we bounced up, went down, and we bounced up again. That's a double bottom. The bottom is in. We're ready to go up. That's the kind of sentiment people were having. And the same things repeat themselves over here and really everywhere else. So just a psychological kind of thing to keep in mind here. It always feels special in the moment, but in hindsight it never really is. Maybe like a 1 in 100 chance. A retest is maybe 25% change. It will probably go sideways next hours, then tomorrow right to 7200. Weekend will be over 8k. So Tevi Bay, yeah, I agree with your first part. So I do see more sideways action followed by a potential pump up to 7200. I think that's definitely in the works. I think it's definitely possible. As for over 8,000 by the weekend, Bitcoin's price lately has been going sideways quite a lot. And this is a new thing I've just picked up on. I mean, it's a lot less volatile than it used to be. And every time we push into key levels, of course, it's all manipulators pushing us into them anyway. But when it does happen, we stabilize around those areas for a bit. We stagnate. There's not really much going on in the market. Of course, that's going to change if the bullish sentiment returns, but at the moment, from what I'm seeing here, there's a lot of exhaustion in this market, and so when the bulls, or the bears, the manipulators rather, when they push us up to key levels, no one's interested in trading, and so it just stays sideways. It only reacts to the bad news. The good news doesn't really do much, and so that's what I'm seeing here. Can you go over bear/bull flags? Yes, absolutely, Upedia. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so I mean, it's very simple in concept. A bull flag. Let's go for a bear flag in this case. You know, we look at what a flag looks like. So this is really annoying. What am I doing wrong when I set these lines? So yeah, I mean, this is just a typical flag, and this is exactly what you see on these charts. And the idea is, you know, when we're in an established trend, in this case, the trend is, you know, it's going to be a bit like this. So we've got, oh god, what have I done? So what this chart is telling us is that we're already going up. We've consolidated a little bit. We go up again, consolidation, go up again. That's the general idea that bear flags and bull flags tell you. So it's the same deal right here if we were to draw this bear flag. And bear flags, rising wedges, you know, all of these things are kind of the same. Bear flags are more tightened patterns. It's where the prices go up and down and they gradually narrow and they become it becomes more volatile. It sort of bottles up and then it explodes, and in this case it exploded downwards. So that's a very typical easy pattern to spot, and these are called continuation patterns. So it doesn't result in a price reversal, it just continues what's already happening. So that's, you know, it's the same thing, bear, bull flags. It just tells you that whatever trend we're in, we're just consolidating before we continue that trend with volume. That's what it tells us. Guys, I'm not going to go over alts right now. I'm still not interested in them. You know, let's make this concrete. I'm still not even going to look at alts until we comfortably rise above 6,800. Because I want to see volume on that. I want to see that if we get a rally, it's going to stick. And even then, if we do push above 6,800, I'm still mainly going to be looking at Bitcoin because the whole market follows Bitcoin. And I'm more interested in what Bitcoin does than alts, because alts will move up better than Bitcoin, but they're also going to move down a lot worse than Bitcoin. So still not really looking at coins. So Tron, Nano, ETC, you know, coins like this. I mean, Ethereum Classic is going on Coinbase, so that's a good one, but even then, you know, that Coinbase listing is weeks or months away, so you know, still not looking at that. Yeah, hunting stops, that's all that'll be going on for the next few weeks, in your opinion. That's from Pader, is that how you say it? Hopefully. Yeah, no, hunting stops, hunting these liquidation prices, it's, you know, it's all that's happened since, I don't know, since 20k, since 11.6k. That's all that's been happening with these high-frequency trading bots trying to liquidate positions. Let's actually check out the Bitcoin USD shorts and longs charts. Chris London, are we going up? Nice question there, very, very nice and simple. I don't know, couldn't tell you that. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing shorts rise a little bit. There's not really any resistance here, so it could continue to go up, but it looks fairly organic right now. Let's go over to the longs and see what we're looking at over here. And yeah, I mean, still within this range. So overall, it looks quite neutral, actually, looking at these longs and shorts. And, you know, like I said, my sentiment is neutral as well. So the RSI isn't telling us the same story, but we go over to the daily, which is obviously much more important than I think any other timeline. I think it's even more important than the weekly. You know, we look at this daily chart and RSI is literally right in neutral territory. Nearly, it's at 39. So, I mean, it does look fairly neutral from this point of view as well. But, guys, overall, I've said it many times now. What I am seeing really here is, sorry, not a bear trap, Sonics. I'm seeing a bull trap. You know, I'm seeing this being a rising wedge. A bull trap is where you rise up. It's a rise. The bulls are in power, and then it's a trap because you just get sent down. The market dumps. So I am seeing this as being yet another. I mean, guys, look at it. This is the same pattern that's repeated so many times already. It's almost parallel as well with the last one, you know. I just I don't see this sticking around. But like I said, it is possible that we get sent to about 7,200. Maybe the bulls lose power there and then we get sent back down. Or maybe the bulls have some fun for the next week. Maybe this week and next week is going to be green. We slowly climb our way back up to 7,700. It's definitely possible. But I'm not putting my money on that. Definitely not. I'm still, you know, in a trend like this, I think it's pretty clear until we get something pretty major. All I'm going to be interested in is shorting the bounces, because if you go long, it's risky. I mean, if you went long from 61.50, obviously, you know, if you went 10x from there, you'd already double your investment, so that's great. And we have been making trades like that. Of course, not longing it like I just said, but these things are possible. But there's a lot more room for profits if you do go short. And that is, unfortunately, the overarching sentiment right now. So, yeah, sorry, true. Yeah, bear trap, bull trap. Yeah, no, it's easy to get them mixed up. A lot of chatter about 5,800 to 5,900, then a good recovery. Yeah, Bob England, I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, you know, I used to, you know, recently, even last week, I thought that 58 would be the deciding number, potentially 6,000 if that fails. It would be 58, but just considering how many people are talking about it, I've kind of lost confidence in that area now. Either, you know, I either think that we are going to bottom out at 6,000 and complete this triple bottom. Again, we need volume for that. Or we're going to go much lower than 5,000, but even then there's so much talk about $4,000. And guys, you know, like I just said a few minutes ago, when we get rallies like this, there is hope. There are people in these comments saying that we are going to rise back up, we're going to see 8K, you know, comments like that. Maybe we will, but if we don't, it is the exact same pattern we saw from 7,000 to 77. It's the same pattern we saw from, where is this, 82 up to 88. It's the same thing repeating itself over and over and over. And so, you know, these markets tend to go in the opposite way. And you know, if we were to bottom out at about $4,000, if that's where we bottom out, if it's $3,000, the fact is, I think most of us aren't even going to see it coming. We're going to be like, okay, but the bounce is going to come now. And then the next day we're going to say the bounce is going to come now. And that's going to keep on going. We're going to keep on forming rising wedges like this. The comments are going to be the same. But instead of 8K next week, it might be, we're going to go up to 7K now when we're already down to 5,800. You know, that type of thing. I hope you guys are following me here. That's, I worded it really badly, but if you did get me there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, that is, of course, if we are following this bubble pop cycle. And it's, I'm being very nuanced about this because, guys, I don't think we are. And, I mean, it's possible. I'm open to the possibility, but I'm leaning towards the side that we're not doing anything like that. But guys, that is going to be pretty much it for this stream. I have had to keep it short today. It's only 25 minutes, but to be fair, that is quite long anyway. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, definitely make sure you like this video, subscribe if you're new around here, tick the bell so you don't miss out on my uploads, and of course, if you're not already in the Telegram channel, if you haven't followed me on Twitter, definitely do all of that. But with that, guys, I am going to be signing off. I hope you've had a good one. I'm out. Peace.